What's your biggest piece of advice? Or maybe what do you think is the first thing they should do?
Um, I would say first,
Richard grew up in Korea but has spent over a decade building a successful data science career in the United States. So much so that he started mentoring others and creating resources to help other Koreans develop their careers abroad. In this interview, he shares some critical tips for building a successful global career in data science. He also shares some common mistakes that Korean job seekers make that you definitely want to avoid. Enjoy. Great to finally meet you, Richard. Thank you for your time. I've been following you on LinkedIn for a while. Having found jobs both in Korea and in the US, what are some differences you've noticed in the job market, in the hiring process, and in the strategies people should take as job seekers?
yeah. So to be honest, like I don't have much experience to for the job searching in Korea because I've been into US since 2011 and been here
Okay.
for a long time since, except the 2 years in the military services. But
Sure, sure.
yeah, but while I'm observing others and comparing to my experience with that, I find out there is a key difference between the job searching, specifically in South Korea and the US, which
Hmm.
is your professional experience itself is the primary factor for hiring in the US, regardless of the company size or the popularity of the industry.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you're viewing yourself as the professional based on your own skill and experience. But in Korea, I think your reputations or the company reputations are giving the significant factors to just like being on a hiring process.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, and your affliction with the well-known organizations or school or any kind of academic achievements are giving a big role to just like getting a job.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, Richard. I've seen a lot of people, they focus on where they went to school. They just say, I have work experience at this company. Whereas in the US, it's more about your actual skill. It's more about the actions and the results you've created. That is very, very true. I'm glad you brought that point up. And so I think a lot of that can be reflected in people's resumes. I often see resumes in Korea that start with their education and their educational achievements, whereas in the US, that would not be a good strategy. So, what has worked best for you when writing data science resumes and getting jobs in data science here?
Yeah, as we have talked about like about the previous question, definitely on hands experience with the data science is most
Hmm. Hmm.
significant
Hmm.
for sure. Yeah, and then also I will say that data professionals can should convert the low data into a meaningful business impact or outcome. So
Hmm.
to persuade the business stakeholders, you need to just put aside some of the uh, terminology, which is like looks very professional and pretty complicated. Instead of that, set aside of that kind of terminology and just like make it convert into easy to understand and a pretty vague
Hmm.
word for
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it is good for the clear communication for everyone to just understand what you have achieved with the data science.
Completely agree. Yeah, yeah. A lot of the English education in Korea, it emphasizes using big words, big sentences so much. It emphasizes writing long essays for exams that it can kind of set people up for failure as international seekers because they use that same style of communication and it's not really what global hiring teams want.
Yeah, I think that's pick the point. Like every recruiters have some of the expectations about the levels of the English, but they are not expecting that much high complexity or any kind of like
Hmm.
professional
Hmm. Hmm.
language to insert into your resume.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else that you've seen that might be mistakes or things to avoid for Korean people trying to get data science jobs abroad?
Yeah, I mean, data science is sounds like very scientific field, but it is all about the for the company. It is all about the business. So when we are talking about the data science, you should connect with the how the business utilize the data science.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, for example, you want to say, I'm achieving this kind of accuracy for the experiment, but company does not like to hear about that one. Is that like how that experience are giving the monies or the impact for that
Exactly.
company?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not just about you running this test and finding this insight. It's about you finding the insight and then how did it affect the business?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe as you're writing your bullet points, as you're writing your summary and your resume, focused on the impacts that were created at the company from your data insight. Don't just say you ran these tests or you reached this level of precision.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't want to just like see I just make a 10% or 20% increase of the accuracy instead, but how's that increase our compact or increase the profit out of the
Exactly.
business?
Did it get more business leads? Did it improve cost efficiency? Did it help you get a higher product review score? Get a better SEO on Google with your website? Anything like that would be good. So it's not just the accuracy, it's the impact of the accuracy.
You nailed it, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Richard. I'm really glad you brought that up.
In South Korea, definitely there is a more human connection and interaction with that,
Mhm,
and the
mhm.
people like to work together, collaborate together to just make a big impact out of it. But they are very scared to just say, this is from my work. Because like
Ah,
they have
yeah,
a
yeah.
we culture, we made it, but there
Mhm,
is a
mhm,
very
mhm,
hard to say I made it.
mhm, mhm. That is also a great point. And I hear that so often with the job search clients I work with when we're finding all their achievements and their results that they can put in their resume and their LinkedIn. A common thing I hear is I can't put that because it was just part of it. I was part of the team.
Right.
And something I always tell people is in business, it's very rare that something is 100% because of you. But just because it's not 100% you, that's still your achievement. You still played a role in making that happen. So that's definitely something you can still talk about.
Yeah. I think that is a great point to say. I mean, like resume is for me, not for our team. So definitely, like you should figure out what portion you have contributed to
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
making these things done or
Hmm.
completed.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with saying you did an action that contributed to this result or helped your team achieve a result. Totally, totally. So let's say there's a Korean data scientist watching this. They've been working in Seoul, they have a couple years of experience, but they really would love to take their career internationally. What's your biggest piece of advice? Or maybe what do you think is the first thing they should do?
Um, I would say first be curious about the new things is the first hand you should like being a data relevant career or
Hmm. Hmm.
data data scientist because there is so many things are coming up for upcoming eras of the data science, including
Hmm.
AI, the ChatGPTs, the as you hear the perspective like a cloud AI. There's so
Hmm.
many AIs coming up, and you are not gonna get everything run from their side. But it is good to just like enjoy your running path and explore every day to just make you better 1% more and more every day, then
Hmm.
that will be definitely help you out to just like not only just gaining the jobs or keeping the career with that, but you will know how the fun and the valuables are the data scientists.
So you've mentioned some of the tutoring you're doing, as well as you got a pretty big following on LinkedIn. So where could people find and connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely LinkedIn is my biggest channel to just like interact with my audience first. But also, I got my own website, which is the called yes, Richard.bento.me. I think it's a bento me. Sorry, it's
Okay,
bento
perfect.
me.
I'll put a
Yeah,
link below.
yeah. So you can go over there and you can get free resources, the resume template which I made for the data enthusiasts, and
Nice,
also
nice.
what I like to say is the productivity list, which I use the SaaS or any AI tools I use for the everyday to just make my
Mm,
productivity higher.
that's awesome. Nice. So yeah, guys, I will put links to all of that below. Definitely follow Richard. He posts some great stuff. He also has a newsletter I saw on LinkedIn. Would recommend that if you're at all interested in data science or building a career abroad.
Sounds great. Thanks, Grant.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Richard. Really appreciate the insights.
I appreciate it. Thank you.